Another daily on the daily. And today's video, we're going to be talking about why does everybody believe in you but you? And 100%, I'll say 110%, everybody in the world has went through this thing where, you know, everybody is believing in them. Everybody's telling them how great they are. Everybody's telling them they're great at this. They should start a business or, you know, start a clothing brand. Everybody's saying great things about you, but it's like you can't see the things that they say they're saying about you. You know what I mean? I feel like God be trying to get this to us and try to show us who we really are. But it's like every time he try to show us, or even sometimes even be proven to us, it's like we can really never understand like who we are or who we are in God. And it's something that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people deal with on day-to-day basis, something that I've dealt with before, just with starting this YouTube, just with, you know, speaking, just with, you know what I'm saying, just opening up my mouth and speaking through what I've been through or speaking through what I've been going through. It's like I've always been like kind of not want to be the person of just, you know, want to be like putting myself out there or talking too much. Or I'm saying if I'm going into a room, I'm not saying necessarily you got to talk to, you know what I'm saying, everybody or speak every time, but it's just like one of those things. Like I would try to stay away from big crowds. I just ain't want to, you know what I mean? I'll try to be like so closed off to where it's like when I came into God, it's like he been showing me the exact opposite, where it makes me uncomfortable to speak. It makes me uncomfortable to, you know, start things that, you know, I feel like I should have been started, or he been showing me on day-to-day basis of who I truly am, you know what I'm saying? And I still be, you know what I mean, doubting sometimes. I still be trying to realize, you know what I mean? And that's what's gonna come with, you know, being uncomfortable, is that little piece of doubt that you always gonna get in and make you think like, dang, like, is this really me? Is this really it? Yes, it's really you. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's just you got to go through that growth. And sometimes you just got to go through the dark. Sometimes you got to go through things to be able to grow. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to necessarily go through bad things all the time, but a lot of times, and on my experience, y'all, it's like me going through the dark, me going through, you know, things of, you know, in life in general. It helped me realize a whole bunch of things, and it helped me realize, you know what I'm saying, number one is bigger than me. Number two, I got a lot of stuff to work on, you know what I mean? And me coming into God, he's been exposing a lot of stuff that I know I need to work on. Whether that be being more vocal, whether that be, you know what I mean, speaking from the heart, whether that be me not making it all about myself. Yeah, he's been helping me on a day-to-day basis. But like I said, I feel like a lot of times everybody tells us how great we are, but we never can see it from our own eyes. You know what I mean? And I know it's because they're looking at it from a whole different perspective, and they honestly don't know everything about us. But the good thing about it is God knows everything about us. You know what I mean? And you got to know who we serve. We got to know who we are in God. We got to know who is above each and everything of this world. You know what I mean? Like, we got a God that created this world. We got a God that, you know, conquered the world. We got a God that, he done accomplished everything he needed to accomplish in this world. You know what I'm saying? So number one, we got to know who we serve and know who we are spending time with, know who we are, you know what I'm saying? And we got to know who we are in Christ. That's the number one thing to you know, believing in yourself. And number two is, I feel like a lot of times you get that confidence, you build that confidence in yourself, is when you do things that you already said that you were going to do. A lot of times we don't believe in ourselves. A lot of times we don't have that confidence in ourselves is because we plan something, or we say we're going to do something and we don't end up doing it. So we start reverting back to old things because you get down to yourself. You let one bad day or one day mess you up because you missed a workout. You let one day mess you up because you ate something bad and you know you should be doing an alkaline diet or know you should be doing a plant-based lifestyle. We let that one day or one, you know, mistake affect a whole month, or one mistake affect the whole 2 months. And sometimes we let a one mistake affect the whole year. You know what I mean? And I feel like I've been through that route, or I've been through, you know what I'm saying, making a mistake and convicting myself, so like over convicting, you know what I mean? So much where I'll be, after that one mistake, it's like I'll revert back a whole, you know what I'm saying, cycle that I know I shouldn't have been doing. God doesn't condemn us. He even said in his word, he said there's no condemnation in God. But I feel we as humans, you know what I'm saying, I feel like we try to play catch up or try to prove ourselves. It's like we don't need to prove ourselves but for God. He already has picked us. He already had chose us. He already knows each and everything that we're going to go through, each and everything that we've, you know what I'm saying, we've done in our past, each and everything we've done ahead. You know what I mean? So I feel like we got to throw that out the way. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with conviction. There's nothing wrong with knowing we need to do better, but it shouldn't be us condemning ourselves and I mean, being out for a whole month and condemning ourselves so much, and that it's like we don't want to move at all. We get in a whole depressed cycle. It's like, that's not what the point of conviction is. The point of conviction is doing something knowing you shouldn't have been doing it. And after you messed up, it's like that conviction coming in is like, man, I got to do better. Like that ain't what God has for me. You know what I mean? And that's when you keep going. That's not when you revert back to the old and getting down on yourself and condemning yourself. Going back to what I said, it's like when you do things that you have planned out, or do things that you said you was going to do, that builds that confidence up, because it's like a kind of a checklist. It's like it gives you that confidence. I can't even explain, but I think if y'all know what I'm talking about, comment down below, because I feel like everybody's been through it. Like, let's say you go a whole week with working out and you've been consistent for that whole week, and you might even have a day where you push through it. It's like you look back and be like, dang, like, I did that. Like, I'm really doing this. Like, I'm really doing this. Like, I'm really being consistent. You know what I mean? And that puts you in that mindset. It's like, I can keep doing this. Like, I can keep being consistent, and you being consistent builds that confidence. It's like you have that confidence in yourself, and then when you have that confidence that you get from God, it's like it works hand in hand. You know what I mean? It's like you just keep going. You keep going up. You keep leveling up. You know what I'm saying? You keep being intentional with the stuff you take in. You keep being intentional with the stuff you soak in, because you're protecting your peace so much. You're protecting what, you know what I'm saying, the route you on so much. It's like, nah, it's like, I know if I take that one step back, it's like, that ain't it. You know what I mean? Like, it might even set me back a whole, you know what I mean? I get back into a whole cycle. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you do that. I feel like that's the good, you know what I mean, that good conviction or that good consciousness. So it's like, I don't want to go back to, you know what I mean, doing something that I know that's going to put me in a cycle that I don't want to be in, that it's not helping me, you know what I mean, towards my destiny, towards what I need to be for God. And I honestly feel like that's where you get that confidence from. I feel like that's where, you know, the greats get that confidence from, is from doing it day to day on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? So imagine you being consistent with your diet. Imagine you being consistent with the workout for just a month, y'all. Just for a month. That's where you should start at, just for a whole month. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do it for a whole month, be consistent, but just for a whole 2 weeks. And you understand exactly what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Being intentional with what you soak in. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you should be taking away certain type of music, and they feel like music leads you into a mind state where it's like you're not consistent, shoot, take the music away, replace it with podcasts, replace it with things that is going to uplift you and push you towards where you want to be and where you want to go in this life. You know what I mean? And you're going to see yourself constantly growing, y'all. Like, you're going to see yourself each and every day growing, and the confidence, and, you know what I'm saying, just the way you're going to walk. People are going to see it, and you're going to see it in yourself, because you're going to be proud of yourself. Most importantly, you know what I mean, you got God with you, and that makes it even greater. And I'm not saying it's easy. I know it sounds easy from me talking about it. I know it's sometimes, shoot, you might even watch this video, be consistent for 2 days and revert back to the old, you know what I mean? But you just got to push past that barrier. You got to push past that doubt. You already came a long way, y'all. You already came a long way. When you look, you just watching the right stuff on YouTube, as opposed to what we was when we was in college or younger. I'm saying, watching YouTube stuff that you know what I'm saying, we know in our heart don't be, you know what I'm saying, pointless. You know what I mean? That's nothing against nobody, but a lot of stuff I'm learning now is you got to real deal guard your eye gate, your ear gate, and your heart. That is real deal real. You know what I'm saying? What you take in is huge. And if you're trying to be consistent, if you're trying to be on the right path that you know you should be on, a lot of stuff you're going to have to sacrifice. A lot of stuff you're going to have to stop doing. 100%, you're going to have to take out scrolling. You're going to have to stop scrolling on Instagram. You're going to have to stop scrolling on TikTok. You know what I mean? You can let everybody else have that. You want to go somewhere that you know you're supposed to be, and it's like, you know, in your heart, God got bigger than where you are right now. You got to take that step. You know what I'm saying? You got to hop that barrier where it's like, you know what I'm saying, you start going back and forth, being consistent, non-consistent. You write out a plan, you don't, you know what I'm saying, you don't make it happen. You write out this, you don't make it happen. You got to realize, know that during those days or during those times that you don't feel like waking up, I know everybody say this, but it's real deal true. Because I say this because I done been through the same thing where I done looked at people like, man, here we go again. Like, okay, like, you feel me? But when you understand and you really do it, God can show us as many times as we want. People can tell us how great we are as many times. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't believing in yourself and you ain't taking the steps, all that is just chit chat. You don't want to let everybody else tell you of who you are and you not believe who you really are. You know what I'm saying? And God tries to show us that each and every day, but it's like we never really truly understand because we're so stuck in our old habits, old ways. It's just sometimes so hard for us to get out. You know what I mean? The stuff that we're so used to. You know what I mean? But when you want to go somewhere that you ain't never been, when you want to have that, you know, rich in all aspects, rich in life, rich in God, it's like you're going to have to take those steps that look crazy. And as Jerry Flowers said, you're going to have to do stuff without a life jacket. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to take those risks. You're going to have to start that business without even knowing how it's going to go. You know what I mean? You're going to have to do stuff that look crazy sometimes. But doing those things and believing in yourself, doing those things that you said you was going to do gives you that confidence that you don't need everybody else's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because you believe in yourself. You know what I mean? So much. You know what I mean? And the God believes in you, number one. But you got to believe in the plan that God has. Man, look, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the support y'all been showing. I appreciate all the love y'all been showing. I really do. I say it all the time because y'all really do keep me going, because I notice each and every day that is bigger than, you know what I'm saying, just me. You know what I'm saying? So again, I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Yeah.